You know, every single device you connect to the internet, it has a secret identity, a permanent digital fingerprint. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to read it.
So let me ask you, that phone in your pocket, the laptop on your desk, even your router, they all have a story to tell. And they tell it through a unique code. Do you have any idea what that code is or what it can reveal? Well, stick around, because by the end of this, you're going to.
Okay, so think of it this way. This isn't just some piece of software you can uninstall. Nope. It's more like a permanent fingerprint, something that's literally burned into the device's hardware code, what we call its firmware. It's like a digital birthmark given to every network card the moment it's made, and you can't just wipe it clean.
So what exactly is this digital fingerprint? Let's dive in and dissect it. What we're really talking about here is something called a MAC address. All right, so a MAC address, that stands for Media Access Control Address, is basically a 48-bit hardware ID. You'll see it written out as 6 pairs of numbers and letters, but here's the really important part. That address is designed to be totally unique, like globally unique, to every single network card ever manufactured. No two are the same. And this is where it gets really cool. That address, it's not just a random jumble of characters. It's actually split right down the middle into 2 halves. And each half tells a completely different story about that device. Let's break that down. The first half is called the OUI, which stands for Organizationally Unique Identifier. This is the part that identifies the manufacturer. You can think of it as the company's signature. The second half, that's the device identifier, basically the unique serial number that the company gives to that specific card. Now, for our little investigation today, we're going to focus on that first half, the OUI. Those first 24 bits, those first 3 pairs of characters, that is the manufacturer's signature. This is the golden clue that tells you exactly who made the device.
And just so you know, this isn't some random informal system. Oh no. There's an official organization, the IEEE. That's the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. And they're the ones who control and assign all these OUI codes. Big companies like Apple, Intel, and Realtek, they buy up huge blocks of these codes. A single company can actually own hundreds of different OUIs for all their different gadgets.
All right, so theory is one thing, but let's get our hands dirty. How do you actually find this code on your own devices? Turns out, it's super easy, and it doesn't matter if you're on a Mac, Windows, or Linux. Okay, Mac users, you're up first. It's really straightforward. You could go through the network utility, but honestly, the fastest way is to just pop open your terminal and type ifconfig. Boom! The MAC address will be right there, listed as ether.
For all you Linux folks out there, it's just as easy. Fire up a terminal and run a quick IP link or the old school ifconfig command. Either one will instantly show you that hardware address.
And of course, we can't leave out Windows. Just open up the command prompt and type getMac. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? It just gets the MAC address. Instantly lists them all for you. Couldn't be simpler.
Okay, so you found a weird string of letters and numbers. Big deal, right?
Well, actually, yeah, it's a huge deal. This is where things get really powerful, especially when we talk about cybersecurity. Knowing who made a device can be an absolutely critical piece of intel. Let's walk through a few scenarios.
First scenario, let's call it the case of the rogue device. Picture this, you're in charge of a network, and all of a sudden, a new device you don't recognize just appears. Is it just a visitor on the Wi-Fi, an employee's new phone, or is it something way more sinister?
This is where that OUI is your first line of defense. Let's say your company is strictly a Dell, Apple, and Intel shop. That's the rule. But then your network monitoring tool, maybe something like Wireshark, spots a device with an OUI that belongs to, say, Huawei. Right there, that's a massive red flag. It's an unauthorized device that you need to check out, like, right now.
All right, next case, the digital impersonator. This is a classic cyber attack called ARP spoofing. It's basically a digital con game. An attacker's device pretends to be your router, tricking all your devices into sending their traffic through it. And just like that, they can see everything you're doing online. So here's how you spot it. You know for a fact your router is a Cisco device. But when you look at your network's ARP table, suddenly the MAC address for your router has an OUI from Realtek. Wait, what? That mismatch is a blaring alarm bell. It's a dead giveaway that an attacker is probably sitting right in the middle of your connection. And for our last case, let's call it mapping the scene. This is for anyone who has ever had to manage a network or do a security audit. Your very first step is always the same. You have to figure out exactly what is on this network. And guess what? The OUI is your secret weapon for this. Just by looking at the OUIs of all the MAC addresses, you can instantly start building a map. Okay, that's probably a laptop, that's a phone, that's a Cisco switch. You can figure all this out without ever having to walk around and physically look at a single device. It's an incredibly fast way to get an accurate inventory.
So there you have it. You now have a fundamental skill of any good digital detective, the ability to read the clues that are hidden in plain sight. Let's do a quick rundown of everything we've covered.
Okay, let's lock this in. The MAC address is that 48-bit hardware ID. The first half, the OUI, tells you the vendor. The second half is just the unique serial number. And don't forget, you've got simple command line tools built into every OS to pull this info up in seconds.
And really, it's that simple. You spot a MAC address starting with, say, 00-26-BB. You punch that into an OUI lookup tool online, and bam, you get a definitive answer. That device was made by Apple. Case closed. The clue is decoded.
So, I'll leave you with this thought. You now hold the key to uncovering the secret identities of all the devices around you. So, the next time you're on Wi-Fi, whether you're at home, a coffee shop, or at the office, what are you going to find on your network?